Hey guys, what's going on? It's your man, TheReaLRush here, bringing you guys another Fallout video here today. And it's been a while since I've uploaded, but there's reasons I might explain in a later video. But let's get back into the Fallout world. Well, we're gonna talk about the things that made Fallout 4 good because Fallout 4 was very mixed. There was good things and then there were bad things about it, and I think a lot of the bad things took over in a lot of people's eyes because I really did enjoy Fallout 4. In fact, I played it a lot. But there were some things that I noticed and everyone noticed, and it's obvious that made Fallout 4 not as fun as it should have been. It should have been a lot better, but what we got wasn't exactly what I expected anyhow, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. But let's get into the good things, not the bad things. I'll do the bad things in another video. But the first thing that comes to mind, and was in my mind throughout before the game ever came out, and when the game came out, was the customization of weapons. Because I remember when before it came out, and they were showing off some of the teasers and stuff for the game. They were showing this massive weapon customization type deal, and they had done it in Fallout New Vegas, but to be honest, it was kind of crappy. I didn't even use it. I don't think I didn't customize a single weapon in Fallout New Vegas, and did just fine. It didn't seem like it was even there really. But in Fallout 4, it's definitely there, and you almost can't get by without it because you need strong weapons in Fallout 4. There's some tough enemies in this game, but it is so, I love it, honestly. It's one of my favorite things about Fallout 4 that Fallout 4 brought to the table was the customization of weapons. You can literally turn a laser pistol into a sniper laser rifle shoots like 3 bullets at once. You can do whatever you want, and I love it. And I mean, the pipe weapons were kind of disappointing, and the fact that there weren't as many weapons as there have been in previous Fallouts was kind of disappointing in itself. But it was awesome, and the customization of it was awesome, and I love doing that. Another thing that made Fallout 4 a lot of people didn't like, and a lot of people did, it was kind of a hit or miss, the settlement mode. And they said before Fallout 4 came out, the settlement mode was completely optional, is what Todd Howard said. And it turns out it's not 100% optional. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say he lied, but it isn't completely optional. In fact, there's parts of the main story where you have to use settlement mode in order to advance, so it's not optional at all. Well, you can get by without doing a lot of it, but you're gonna have to do it sometime in order to get by in this game, especially whenever you're trying to do your weapon, like modify your weapons and modify your power armor, things like that. This having a good settlement and having all these supply lines is really important when it comes to doing that. And Fallout 4, compared to other games, is a lot more ambitious, I guess. But in some things that they did, like the settlement mode, it wasn't as polished. Like, either, in my opinion, they should have polished it a ton more because it wasn't as polished as it could have been. But at the same time, it was in the middle, and it either should have been there a little bit, but then focus more on the story, or it should have been there a lot and it'd been perfect. But I did enjoy the settlement mode because that's where you did all the customization, or in fact I did. And one of my favorite parts of the settlement mode, I mean, I always did this in all the other Fallout games, and whenever you would get like a house or something like that, I would take all of the weapons and armor and I would store it in my house, and I like to keep a collection of what I've found. And I love that in Fallout 4 with the settlement mode. I have an entire like gallery. It's like a mansion, and you walk in, and especially with the contraptions DLC, they added displays and things like that, and which I personally love to death, because I have an entire gallery. You walk in, and I'll have sections, like I have a section where for the Brotherhood of Steel, where I have all of the like armors and weapons that the Brotherhood still uses, and I have like a mannequin dressed in Elder Maxon's battle coat in front of all the people. It looks so awesome, and I love doing that in games where you can go out and find stuff, and I just love finding everything in the game. I don't know, I've always been like that. But another thing that I personally love in Fallout 4, which I really did like all the previous Fallout too, but the leveling system in Fallout 4, it's really unique and I love it. My favorite part about it is probably the fact that there is no level cap. I can keep going as much as I want and I can still improve myself, as much as I can until I get every perk, which would take a long time because I'm in the 80s or 90s and I'm like probably halfway done with the perk charts and it's awesome. I really do love it and like the previous ones, what killed it to me was the fact that you could only go so far. In Fallout 4, I feel like you can go above and beyond with leveling up and improving your character and customizing the type of character you want to build. You can have a guy that's stealthy and runs around with a melee weapon and just destroys everything in his path, or you can have a all guns blazing walk in with a minigun and just destroy everyone that way. I mean, there's so much you can do with it, and I love that. And that is like one of my favorite things, honestly. I don't know, it's really fun and captivating, and it keeps me in because playing as many hours as I have, I don't feel like I've come to a stopping point in the as far as leveling up goes because I keep going and going and going and keep improving. I'm still thinking of what when I level up, what am I going to use my next perk on and things like that. But then the next thing that I love about this is really Fallout as a series, but Fallout 4 was much bigger than all the other Fallout games as far as locations and size. But the amount of exploration in Fallout 4, it was really awesome because you can literally walk. I mean, it's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. Whereas in Fallout 3 and especially Fallout New Vegas, you could walk and you would see the little icon on your map for a location, and you would go, "There's a new location," or at least I did, and I would walk to it. In Fallout 4, it does get kind of overwhelming because, especially whenever you haven't discovered anything, you kind of walk, and then when you get there, I mean, there's like a million things around you. It seems like, and there's so much to explore, and a lot of it does seem kind of like they just kind of halved it. And I mean, I'm sure they did. There's so much in this game. I'm sure they didn't get done with everything that they wanted to get done with, which, I mean, I know they do. Most games don't get done with everything they want in the game. But Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas especially, it seems like I could just look in one direction and walk in that direction and have fun walking in that direction. In Fallout 4, you could do the same thing. You could walk in one direction and, granted you don't walk into the glowing sea at level 3 and die, but it's really fun just to walk and explore. And I'm one of those people that likes to read all the terminals and get all the notes and look deep inside the story of whatever location I'm exploring. I want to know what happened there, and the Bethesda team does that better than any other company I know. I mean, they do it perfectly. The whole environmental feeling and the whole everything is just the emotion behind it, like all the Dunwich stuff. They do so many things and they're very unique and very creative, and I freaking love it. And well, another thing I really loved about Fallout 4 that didn't have in any other Fallout is the weather system, and it wasn't all that big. They had like the radiation storms, but they didn't happen that often. They happened like very. I remember the first time I had ever seen a radiation storm. I think that's what they're called. I'm not sure. I was already mostly through with the main campaign, and I had never even seen one before. And it started up, and I was like, well, what is this? And so they don't happen all that often, but when they do, especially at first, is really cool. After a while, it's kind of pointless because you gain like one or two rads. I mean, I guess it's a little bit harder if you're on hardcore mode, of course. Maybe it would mean something then, but I haven't played hardcore mode in Fallout 4. But my favorite, which is my favorite weather type in real life and anything, is rain. And whenever it rains in Fallout 4, I freaking feel awesome. I don't know, I'm like a little kid playing in the rain because that's what I am. But it's so awesome. I just love it when it rains in any game. And Fallout being one of my favorite games, when it rains in Fallout 4, it's truly special. I keep it to heart. And the last thing I want to talk about that I think is really good and awesome about Fallout 4, there's a lot of awesome things about Fallout in itself, and I'm trying to go off things that I could think of that are specifically to Fallout 4. And one thing that Fallout 4 hits on the not on the knot hits on the nail that I love about it and doesn't have any other games is the combat system. Now there are some things I liked about the combat system in the other ones because I don't know, it just felt Fallout-y, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not a word. I'm not, but in Fallout 4 they really did up the combat system a lot, and I do love it. It is pretty awesome, and I just love like there's a range in enemies. You could be fighting a level 3 raider and fighting a level 50 raider next to each other. And I love that, as far as like the gunners are hard. Like, go up into Gunner Plaza and you are in for a fight because they destroyed me a couple times. And but it's just I just love it. Like, there's a challenge there. Even at level 82, there was still a challenge at enemies, and there was a challenge. It wasn't too hard, but it wasn't too easy all the way through the game. And I love that about it. And I just love the combat system as far as the customizing weapons goes, all the things you can put on your gun, the way you aim in. I love the hotkey for the grenades, and everything is just so awesome. They did advertise what, I don't know exactly what to call it, but you know how like when you shoot a box and it blows up or whatever when you're in the middle of a gunfight. I did think there was going to be a lot more of environmental changes as far as the battle goes, like you throw a grenade at someone and you blow up part of the building next to you. I thought there was going to be a lot more of that because I seemed like I remember seeing them advertising that in the game before it came out. But either way, I wasn't disappointed about the combat at all. But I think they focus a lot more on those first-person aspects rather than the RPG role-playing aspect. I don't even know what I just said. But anyhow, it's just I'd rather them do story-based like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, in my opinion, are two of some of the most awesome games ever. And of course, I'm a Bethesda fan and Fallout fan in general, so that it's a little bit biased. Everyone has their own opinions. Fallout 4 was more mainstream than Fallout 3 and New Vegas, but it's still, so they brought more mainstream ideas to it, I guess, and tried to put out for a more general audience. But so that's good. That's not bad at all. I'm all for Fallout growing, but I do miss the Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I'm actually thinking about going back and playing New Vegas because I freaking love it. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite Fallout so far, and it just feels awesome to me. Fallout 3 was good. It really was. The DLCs for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are the best DLCs ever. I put my hand on the Bible and say that. I love them to death. But anyhow, that's it for the list. I know I've gone on talking a little bit too much long here, and it's actually quite a long video. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been your man, TheReaLRush here. Please smack that like button and comment down some creative what am I saying, constructive criticism, and give me some ideas of things I can do that will make my channel a little bit more interesting. I'm going to be uploading a lot more, about different games, but because Nuka World is coming up, it's going to be the final DLC. But anyhow, it's been your man, TheReaLRush here. I'll catch you later. Peace out. Peace out.